Hey YouTubers, this is Paul Lentz back for uh, another rant when it comes to these fucking delusional ass fucking modern day fucking females. This is going to be a no holds barred post. I've tried to kind of like mix a little humor, selective profanity, but try to like have a kind of a cleaned up version of my takes on the modern day dating dynamics. But I can only just take so much, trying to be tactful and polite after so many fucking videos and podcasts. And what set me off last night was I was walking my dog Stella around 7 o'clock last night, and I was listening to a panel that had both men and women talking about, like, is it okay for men to automatically, and when I say men, I mean high value men, to automatically disqualify single moms or older women or whatever, or career minded women. And there's a guy named Anton Daniels who he's a very successful black businessman, personality, YouTuber, and he tried to calmly explain that, most women have not been with high value men in the history of the fucking world. High value men don't grow on fucking trees. But now we live in a world where, it used to be women used to look for men that had character. Could he protect them? Could he provide? And when you say provide, it doesn't mean lavish. It means what a family needs to live pretty okay, comfortable. Because most people live paycheck to paycheck. Okay? They try to save a little something. They can maybe go on one vacation a year. But you're not going to the Hamptons every fucking month. Okay? You're not going on fucking shopping excursions every fucking weekend. Okay? You're not eating out 4 or 5 times a week. You're not doing, having a closet full of Chanel bags, and 800 pair of fucking, women's shoes. I mean, come on. But these women, in their mindset, you got to be hot and handsome and have some fucking money. And what Anton Daniels was saying is that that's a bonus. Most women should not prioritize looks and wealth over character, protecting, and providing. And again, providing doesn't mean wealth. Most men will never have wealth. Doesn't mean he's a piece of shit. Doesn't mean he's a fucking bum. It's just the world we live in. A guy, what's wrong with a guy being a plumber or a welder or, even a garbage collector or a manager of a restaurant, working 9 to 5. He's got nights and weekends off where he can spend it with the kids, help him with the homework, play catch with his son, and have time for the wife and the kids on the weekend. And you can make, 60, 70, 80, 90,000, even 100K a year, work at a 9 to 5 job. And you can support your family, especially if your wife works. Because in reality, most men cannot support a family comfortably on just one income. Unless you live somewhere rural. And are there really good economic viable jobs in rural America? Not really. So, yeah, it takes 2 incomes. And so, but yet, these women, their mindset is, well, I got to work and provide for myself. I'm not going to settle for a guy that can't improve my lot in life. And that's kind of short-sighted. Because what these women want is instant gratification. They want to move up right away. So they see a guy that's got way more money than them. They want to elevate their lifestyle pronto. Instead of like, this guy, Yeah, he may make a little bit more than me, a little bit less than me, or make around what I make, whatever. But my income and his income, we can slowly build something together. He might not be the most exciting guy or the most handsomest guy or the most buff guy, but he's got good character. He's a good guy. He's going to be faithful to me. He's going to be honest. He's dependable. He's going to be a family man. And he's going to be just help me. He's going to be disciplined with the money. And we're going to build something. I don't need a big engagement ring. I don't need a lavish wedding. I would rather, and I'm speaking as if I was a woman who has some sense. So, instead of needing the big wedding, the lavish, expensive, sparkling diamond ring, put that money towards a down payment on a starter home. Because likely you're going to have to, get a starter home, and get one of those, like first-time home buyer loans that the government offers, and you have a down payment. Then you got some equity in the home. And instead of paying rent, you're paying a mortgage. And as you put money in there, you pay your mortgage, you get more equity, and as whenever the time's right and the housing prices start increasing, then you can look to move into a better home. You don't need a mansion when you first get married. Now, if you're a single mom, you got like 3 or 4 kids by other motherfuckers, yeah, I can see why you may be delusional enough to think that you need that guy right away. But I'm talking about the women out there who it's not too late for them. The ones young enough, who aren't totally deluded by social media and Cinderella and Disney and, The Bachelor, Pretty Woman, The Notebook, Oprah, all this nonsense that Sheryl Sandberg, that you can have your hot girl summer during your 20s, and then when you're 30s, you can pivot to that good guy that's got all his money together, and bam, you're just going to ride off in the sunset and live a lavish lifestyle for the rest of your fucking lives. No, that's not how it fucking works for most people. Just because it's possible doesn't mean it's fucking probable. And you ladies love living in the land of possibility. I mean, I listened to one lady on the podcast, and she was like, well, she was calling in Kevin Samuel's podcast, and said, well, Kevin, you're never going to get it if you don't try for it. If you settle. And it's like, most men can't afford to live in the land of possibility. We have to make pragmatic decisions based on probability. Because for every one guy that shoots for the moon and is able to fucking make it, there are literally hundreds that fall on their faces. And all this time passes. And they don't have anything built solidly. They keep shooting for the moon and going broke. And sure, that one guy may get lucky, have a good idea that the timing's right. But in the long run, he's not going to have anything. And, you ladies out there just think that you got all this unlimited time, and that there's enough guys out there that can make all you fucking ladies happy. And it's never been the fucking case. You tell us, and when I say us, it means, you really mean the 1% of men that you women all let run through you. The Chads and the bad boys. To quit thinking with little head. Most men cannot afford to only base a woman on her looks. If men were as picky, if we disqualify you bitches as much, as harshly as you judge and disqualify most men, the economy would come to a fucking standstill. It would be. worldwide. It would make the Great Depression during the 1930s look like the Roaring '20s. If men did women the way you do most men. The only men that you ladies will tolerate the red flags and you give the pussy right away is to the Chads and the bad boys because they make you tingle. Yet we're the ones that think with little head? No. That lady that told Anton Daniels, when he was telling her about the type of men that most women should be looking for. Character, protect, and provide. Looks and wealth that's a bonus. You shouldn't even be thinking about those off the top. And her response was, well, Kevin, I got to be attracted to the guy. So, all women want to be attracted to the guy. And yet, what percentage of men do most women find to be sexually appealing? 1%. That's right, not 10%. 1% of men. I'm talking about the kind of guys that you'll go up and give your phone number to this guy. That you'll have a one-night stand with. A friends with benefit. Sex on the first date with. Situationships. That guy. And you'll continue having sex with that guy even if he's doing the bare minimum. Because you ladies all like to say that, he just, took advantage of me and, I was young and, like, wait a second. I thought you women all say that women mature faster at an early age than men do. And yet, you were young and dumb? You didn't know any better? Which is it? Are you young and dumb? Or are you mature for your age? Which is it? See, that's what you women love doing. You love, flipping the script, twisting narratives to fit whatever your narrative is at that moment in time according to how you feel. Because you ladies make decisions all the fucking time based on how you fucking feel. I feel uncomfortable. I don't feel safe. Oh, I got that tingling feeling in my legs. Okay, you know what? Now that you made me tingle, you can fucking run through me. You can part my walls like the Red fucking Sea and hit the back of my cervix with your fucking Chad man meat and your bad boy bone like a fucking jackhammer and make me come over and over again, and I will do any nasty little thing you want me to do. You can do all your red flags and bare minimum, and I'll tolerate it because you make me tingle. And then, either after you've had enough, which usually coincides with the time that he dumps you and ghosts you, then you'll make a TikTok video blaming all men. Men without hoes, where are you? Where are all the good guys at? Why can't men keep it in their pants? I mean, you can't make this fucking shit up, man. You can't make this shit up. And that lady said, I got to be attracted to the guy. And yet, we're the ones that think with our little heads. Your projection is valid. What you project on men is really your issue. And I'll tell you, let me explain it this way. Women love, when they get ran through by these Chads and they sit there and, he just took advantage of me and he just used me. You got something in return. You gave up what women claim that they value the most, which is their body. Their body's precious. It's a gift. You just sit and just give it to anybody. He needs to show me that he's for real. That he's going to stick around and do more than the bare minimum before I give him my body. That's what you fucking women always tell the good guy, the decent guy. after you've been ran through by a Chad or some bad boys. However, you did get something when you were being ran through by the Chad or the bad boy. You got dick. You gave up your pussy right away for his dick. And you kept giving it up to him for his dick. Even though you wanted more from him, even though he made it clear that he was only interested in doing the bare minimum, you kept giving your pussy to him. Why? Because you like his dick. You liked him going up in you. You liked him pounding you. You liked how he fucking stretched your walls like the Red fucking Sea. That's what you liked. So you did get something. You got an orgasm. You got good dick. And he got your pussy. Now, if you kept seeing him and kept giving it to him, even though he wasn't doing the other things you claim that you want, that's on you. So if your pussy was that fucking valuable, if you really valued your body, if it was so fucking precious to you, you wouldn't be giving it up right away to some fucking Chad or for some fucking bad boy to run through you repeatedly over and over again. Yet, when you pivot to a good guy, a decent guy, who shows that he has the other check marks that you look for, whether it's protecting, providing, commitment, being faithful, being an honest guy, communicating, got some humor, willing to be a good, whatever, share goals. Even when that guy shows that he's willing to do all these other things that you fucking females claim that you want, the vast majority of you women still are hesitant to have sex with that guy because you claim that you want to make sure that he's committing to you, that you need to get to know him because you just don't give your body away. Yet you do when he's that guy, when he's the right fucking guy, aka Chad Bad Boy. When he's got that Chad man meat or that bad boy bone, you will give it up with a quickness right away and enjoy it. So what do you women value more? Good dick or all these other check marks that you all claim to want? Well, easy. You value good dick over all those other things because you're willing to give your pussy up right away for that fucking LD that fucking hits it right and makes you fucking come over something that you guys claim you want more. That's more important. Now, these Chads and bad boys know this. Why would these motherfuckers do anything other than the bare minimum to keep getting your pussy when they know they don't have to? These guys know they don't have to do shit. They can just be them. They got what you want. They got what makes you fucking tingle. And you'll keep tolerating them. And if you finally reach a point where you just can't take it anymore, you give him an ultimatum, he's going to ghost your ass because there's other women he's already dealing with. Because these guys keep a roster of fucking women who are only too happy to let them run through these women. So why should these guys step up? Because what else are you going to do for them? They already got what you claim to, be like your most precious thing. And yet, the good guy, the decent guy that is showing that he's able to fulfill these other check marks, you really don't want to give your pussy to them. And it's not because you got to get to know the motherfucker more, or that you got to make sure he's committing. It's because you can't stomach having sex with most men. And you have to reach a point mentally where you can be just like, okay, I have to be mentally tough enough to stomach it, to tolerate it. And you need time to talk yourself into it. Okay, he's a good guy. He deserves it. It's not right for me to withhold it for him. And you have to be like, okay, I can do it. And you have to psych yourself up for it. In a way where it's not obvious to him that you got to psych yourself up to it. And that takes time. That's why you fucking females make most men wait. It's because bottom line is you can't stomach most men sexually. 1%. In the eyes of most of you ladies, a man is either hot shit or he's dog shit. No in between. And then you have to reach a point where you can accept. If you commit to this guy, if you're faithful to him, if you're with him potentially for the rest of your life, can you accept never enjoying sex again? Because in the mind of most of you ladies, you're not going to enjoy sex with most men. And these chads and bad boys know it. They know they got you hooked. Like, what are you going to do? You're going to go to the regular guy and fuck him? No. They know that they're that guy. And so, yet you ladies all think you can have it all. You can have your cake and eat it. You can get a guy who's a good guy, decent guy, and he'd be hot and have money. It's a fucking unicorn. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, it's like, you ladies are all fucking delusional. And Kevin told her that she was fucking delusional. And she just do a fit. Because these women feel entitled. Yeah, most women are fucking selfish. You're selfish, you're entitled, and you're fucking delusional. And most of you ladies would rather hear a comfortable lie than a painful truth. These women will call in on Kevin Samuel's show and ask, what I need to get a high value man. And he would tell them, a lot of them are fucking truths. Either you're not, or you got to make yourself useful to this guy. You got to be willing to do things for him that other women can't or won't. And they don't want to hear it. They want a rare man. And yet they just think, well, I'll just show up and be pretty. And that's it. I'm done. I did all I had to do. No. It's not how it works with these guys. That guy did not do all it takes to become that fucking guy. And when I say that guy, he's not just rich. He's not just hot. He's both. He's built himself. And usually for most men, they don't really start really coming into their own financially until they're like in their 30s, even 40s. Because most men have to build themselves up. And that takes time. And so these guys sacrificed their 20s. They didn't get flown out to Dubai. They weren't going to the club every weekend. They didn't have a roster of females to run through. They knew. They were practical. They're like, if I'm ever going to have anything, I got to build myself up. Because guys in their 20s, unless they're a Chad or a bad boy, and again, 1%. The exception to the rule, don't make it the fucking rule, ladies. I hear women all the time saying, I know that one. My friend. And it's just like, most women are like horses with blinders on. You got no peripheral vision. What you see you think everybody's like that. Most women don't notice most men. That's why you ask a woman a question, what percentage of men make 100K? You don't say shit like 40, 50% of men. No. Most women think that, there's enough hot guys for us out here. No. Because the men that you aren't into, they're invisible to you. Most men are invisible to most women. And then you act baffled, like you got slapped with a ton of bricks when you get told the truth about things, and you want to argue the truth. You want to argue numbers. The fact that most, like 6 feet tall, 13.7% of men are at least 6 feet tall. And yet you women all feel like you're totally justified disqualifying men who are short. And it's like, that's a luxury. Okay? That should be a bonus, depending on where you rate on a scale of 1 to 10 on a physical level. Because you guys are the gatekeepers to sex, but men are the gatekeepers to relationships and marriage. If we want to have sex with a woman, we have to make ourselves appealing enough for a woman to want to open her legs for us. But once we get sex from you guys, then it is your job as a female to entice us, to make it worth our while to want to be in a relationship with you. And I'm not just talking about the chads with bags. I'm talking about regular guys, decent guys. And what you ladies feel like is like, you're doing us a fucking favor. And it's like, no. You don't see men out there making videos, lamenting where all the good women are at. Primarily because we know that most of you ladies out there are not wife material. You ladies are fucking selfish. You're entitled. You got drama, trauma. A third of you females are on fucking some kind of psych meds. And yet you guys are you're too expensive. Not just financially, but emotionally, time and effort and money. You're just too damn expensive. The juice is not worth the fucking squeeze when it comes to most of you fucking females out there. And that's why it's just better for most men to just remove themselves. Say, you know what? I'm done. I'm fucking done with you fucking females. And that, and when that happens mentally, it's like 189 pound knapsack is not on you're not carrying it on your shoulder anymore. Because 189 pounds represents what the average female fucking weighs. The average female today weighs more than a man. That's right. You fucking females are letting yourself go. And it's like, and I think part of the reason why is because you females all believe that you're perfect the way you are. Men ain't shit. But you fucking females are perfect the way you are? No. Fuck no. You buy into this. I was watching a while back. They had a panel of females on this show called Fresh and Fit. And they asked them to rate Lizzo. She's some kind of music star that weighs 10,000 pounds. And they asked her, what do you rate Lizzo? And every one of those females said they rate her a 10. Oh, I would love to be able to have her success or be her career or whatever. Men don't look at Lizzo like she's a fucking 10. She may weigh 10 tons, but she ain't a fucking 10. The type of man that a woman like Lizzo thinks she deserves, that guy ain't gonna look at her like she's a fucking prize. You know why Oprah is still single after all these years? Because Oprah could not meet a man that was on her economic level or above who saw her as wife material. And women like Oprah do not want to put themselves in a position of marrying a man that has less money, especially significant less money than her. Because in their mind, they don't want to risk it. In the back of their mind, well, he could leave me. You women always think on the negative. So in your mind, the guy has to make more than you. Because if things don't work out, you don't have to pay him shit. You see, women like judging men, like when men are successful and they ask for a prenup, and you see on all these shows, oh, you're planning for a divorce. You're thinking the worst. And you ladies don't. All you ladies that make money who claim, you claim that men ain't shit or they're losers because they don't make more than you do. What most of you ladies have done, you priced yourself out of the dating market. You made yourselves too expensive for decent men. Men who have character, men who would make good husbands and good fathers, men that would have time for you. You made yourselves too expensive for those fucking guys. And if Congress were to pass a law saying that it was illegal for a man to have sex with more than one woman at a time, that he had to be in a relationship with her to have sex with her, and that if he ended a relationship with her, he had to wait 30 days before he could have sex with another woman, that if he broke the law, he'd face a year in prison. I'm saying, I know this is never going to happen, but I'm just saying hypothetically speaking, if that were to happen, do you know what would come from that? Within 3 months, women would be calling their congressmen, marching on Washington, storming the Capitol, saying, repeal this law. Because if men were only allowed to have sex with one woman and had to wait 30 days before having sex or being in a relationship with another woman, kind of like you have like in marriage, you kind of have like you just can't get divorced right away. You got to have like a cooling off or whatever. Same thing with just fucking. You got to have a cooling off period before you can see another chick. Then the Chads and the bad boys would be with their one woman, probably make sure that was the kind of woman they wanted to stay with, because they don't want to go 30 days without having fucking all the time. Then guess what? All you females out there that would, because most of you women ain't getting a Chad or a bad boy. 1% of you be fucking. 1% of you be in a relationship. The other 99% of you ladies out there would look at like, what the fuck? There ain't nobody out here. Where are the hot guys at? Because you ladies think that there's more hot men than there are, because these hot guys are fucking your friend, your coworker. They got a roster that they're fucking running through. But if that was made a crime and these guys had to fucking cut back drastically to only one, then a bunch of you females out there reality would slap you in the face like a ton of bricks. And then you'd really start seeing how fucking delusional you fucking females are. And you'd be faced with a choice. 2 choices. Either be more reasonable when it comes to your fucking preferences and go, okay, you know what? It may not be 100% perfect, but I can work with this. I can enjoy this. Not everything I want, but he ain't that bad. Because that's how most men look at most women. You don't think most men want a fucking supermodel? You don't think most men want to fuck Margot Robbie? Hell yeah. But most men know that we're not going to get her or any women remotely close like that. So we would be willing to work with, as long as she's halfway decent. And we will be grateful and make it work and not complain. But the problem for most of you women is that you don't reciprocate that shit. If you do, quote, settle, you get resentful. and then you do everything you can to, to not have sex with us. It's like, how do you think that makes men feel? Okay, decent men. Like we're good guys. We're willing to step up when it comes to the commitment things that you ladies say you want, but you don't give us sex. Now, of course, you ladies are going, you got to think there's more life than sex. Really? So none of you ladies are giving pussy right away to the Chads and the bad boys. None you ever have. Do you tell the Chads and the bad boys that there's more to life than sex? I didn't think so. No, you ladies want sex just as much as men do. The problem for you ladies, there's not nearly enough Chads and bad boys to go around for all you fucking females that crave you some Chad man meat or some bad boy bone. So then you pivot when you're with the guy that is decent and good, but he doesn't make you tingle. Then you want to flip it, say there's more to life than sex. Grow up. But where was this growing up shit? Where were these fucking standards when you were letting the Chad and the bad boy pump and dump you, hit and run, smash and dash, run the hell through you? Did you ask him this shit before you gave him the cookies? Nope. But you want to fucking do that shit to most men. My response is, fuck you. Fuck you fucking delusional ass delulus. And as one guy says on the web, you belong to the streets. Because that's what most of you females really do. You belong to the fucking streets. You belong to the fucking, most men should just remove ourselves from the dating scene and leave you to the fucking 1% of men who make up the Chads and the bad boys who are only too happy to keep fucking running the fuck through you while doing the bare minimum. Because what are you going to do, ladies? Are you going to do anything different than you've been doing? Nope. Because you ladies are too stuck when it comes to, how you see things. Your sense of entitlement, what you think you deserve. And you keep thinking about, well, he should. He should want, he should value. He shouldn't do that. But ladies, we don't live in a world of should or shouldn't. We live in a world of is, of leverage, of who's the prize. If you want to be the prize, if you want to be a partner, then target regular men. The Chads and the bad boys, they know they're the prize when it comes to sex. And the high value men, the men who look good and who have the money, they know they're the prize. They're not looking for a partner. They're looking for a wife. And most of you ladies out there are not fucking wives. All right, it's almost 2 o'clock and I gotta get ready to go for my 2 o'clock walk. You guys have a good day, and I'll be back shortly and make another video.